Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the purge, and I'm going to start with hair care and skincare items. And the first skincare item that I'm going to purge is this Amara Organics. This is their hyaluronic acid serum. I do like this, but I already have plenty of hyaluronic acid serums, and I just felt like I wouldn't be able to get through this one as quickly as I should, considering that it is an organic product with not any preservatives. So there are going to be quite a few products like this because several companies had sent me some things that had very similar products in there, or ingredients. And as you can see, I did use this while testing it, but there's still plenty left for me to pass on to someone else. The next two things are very similar as well, and these are eye gels. And I have one by Rada Beauty and one by Amara Organics. They're very similar again. Even the packaging is similar, so I kind of have a feeling that at least they were packaged possibly in the same place. But I'm going to go ahead and pass on these as well because I find that these hyaluronic acid eye gels are kind of sticky on the eye. I prefer a good eye cream. There's another eye gel that's very similar to those, and this is the Oz Naturals Plant Stem Cells eye gel. So again, all very similar, but I'm just going to be passing on that. Next skincare item I'm getting rid of. It's in the box. I tested it out a few times and I did do a review on this, and this is the Apothederm acne treatment. I did find this to be very drying and I didn't really care for the ingredients. So I'm going to pass this on to somebody. I think this would be better for more youthful skin. I did a full review on it, so if you're curious on my thoughts, go ahead and check that out. Next skincare item is actually a C Booth item, and this is the Tea Tree Therapeutic Toner. This is like a spray. You can spray it on your body or your face. And this is just kind of to help with acne, things like that. But again, I didn't really care for the ingredients in here. Alcohol is the second ingredient. And this is something that I'll probably either give to my husband to spray on him, or I'll toss it out because I did try to use it. More than half of it is gone. So I don't know. Some of these items in this purge video I will toss. They're not going to be something that I'm going to keep. Shea Moisture Yucca and Baobab Thickening Moisture Mist. I found that this kind of weighed my hair down a little bit, so I didn't really care for that. It was good when my hair was longer, I found, and then, I don't know, when it was longer and I needed to build up a little bit, or I was like doing a hairstyle, but if I'm leaving my hair down and it's shorter, it just doesn't give my hair the body that I want it to have. I'm getting rid of this Carol's Daughter Hair Milk Styling Foam. This is for curls. My daughter has curls, but this actually left her hair a mess, like a sticky mess, so I'm going to go ahead and pass on this. I actually have this by Shea Moisture, and this isn't a hair thing. This is like a body skincare thing. And this is their Honey and Black Seed Skin Healing Elixir. This is for after you shave and you're supposed to spray it. I bought this because it was supposed to help with ingrown hairs. I bought this for my bikini area, but when I sprayed this on my bikini area, it burned like no other. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along. Here's a hair care item. This is the Night Your Mother's Beat the Heat. I don't use heat on my hair enough to justify keeping this. And when I used this, it kind of made my hair feel like straw, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it along. 3 body lotions that do a very similar thing, so I'm going to put them in here. I have 2 from Pacifica, and they're the Crushed Pearl body lotions. One's bronzy and one's just pearl. And these are pretty much just shimmer body lotions to wear in the summer. I don't find myself using these, so I'm going to pass those along. And then I have this one right here from, if I can get it in the camera frame, from Saint-Tropez that came with a kit. And again, I'm just not going to use this. 2 perfumes to show you. The first one right here is a Mariah Carey scent. I had this because my husband liked the scent, but the scent is bothering me. I find it to be obnoxious, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. And then this is the Body Shop Honey Mania, and everybody was going on and on about the scent, but it's just not for me. It has a weird creamy scent to it, and I don't think honey is a good scent on my body chemistry. So this right here is by a brand called Qualorex Beauty. I really enjoyed this for applying makeup and things like that. But since it is an all-natural brand, I found that the pump up here is kind of leaking a little bit, and so I'm just going to go ahead and pass this on. But if you're interested in trying this product after seeing my review, they did send me 2 of them. So if you were interested in after my review, I will be doing a giveaway on that. Just comment below telling me that you're interested in trying this and I will send you the new one. But I am going to be tossing this one out just because I don't trust it after the bottle broke. This right here was also sent to me from a company, but I never tried it. This is the Grand Primer, and this is by Grand Lash, and I have my Clinique Lash Primer, and this was just sent to me as a bonus to like try other things, so I wasn't under any obligation to try this primer. I pulled it out to look at it. It's got something on it from being thrown in the box, but I've never opened this. So if you enter and you win the other thing, I'll send this with it as well. But it's just an eyelash primer, and it has like instructions on the inside of the box and all that stuff on how to use it. I just never use this because I have my Clinique eyelash primer that I have and I'm still trying to go through, so I didn't want to open this up as well. I'll toss this into the box too. I got this with my Urban Decay Gwen palette that just has 4 lipstick shades. So again, I'll throw that in there too. So I'll just have to make a note that I'm putting those things together. Also, to go along with that, if you're interested in this, this is the Sinful Colors. This is like the Kylie Jenner kit that she had. Well, it's not the kit. She had several colors, but it was like a gel step. I used this once, didn't like it. I found that it chipped. Very pretty. It chipped on my nails, but everything chips on my nails. So if you're interested, again, in this, I'll include that in that, and you can give this a try. So these 2 items, I already have a home designated for them. These are going to go to another YouTuber. Her name is Lauren. But she was talking in a video about how much she loved Laura Geller blushes, and I noticed that she didn't have this one, and I don't use this. I find this to be very similar to like Benefit Rockateur or something like that, and this is their Blush and Brighten in the shade Pink Grapefruit. So I'm going to go ahead and just pass this on to her. And also, she had mentioned that she wanted to try the butter bronzer, and again, I tried it, didn't really care for it. It didn't really have much, which I got the light shade, but she is very fair, so I think this could work for her. But I had the light shade, and it just didn't really do a whole lot for me, and I find that the smell, while pleasant, is quite strong, and I just don't think I want to deal with that. So these 2 items are going to go to her. So there was a company called Etsy that sent me quite a few really cool products to try, but they just weren't colors that I liked. So again, I'm going to be passing these along, and actually I might pass these along to Lauren just because she really enjoys fun colors. I'll message her first because she's a panner and sometimes it's overwhelming to get all this extra stuff. But there are these eyeshadows. So there's this light purple shade, there's like this golden sort of shade. This is a lip thing, but these are like pans, you can put them in a palette. This is their black, which is like the blackest black ever. This is a brow powder, this is a gold eyeshadow, and then this is another lip product. So I think there may be more of these in there. Yeah, here's another eye one. It's this teal shade. So I think I'm actually going to include this stuff in with Lauren's. And there might be another one because there was also a bright pink eyeshadow as well. Did I show that one? Yeah, here are 2 more. Here's a deeper teal shade, and then I think the other one might have been green. And then this is the bright pink. Alright, so moving on, I have some blushes. I really love these Revlon blushes, but again, I'm really going through my stuff and downsizing. And I have very similar colors once they're on the cheeks to these. So this one right here in Wine Not actually comes across very similar to NARS Matahari on the cheeks. So I'm going to go ahead. They don't look the same in the pan, but like once on the cheeks, they look very similar. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that one along. Then I have this one right here in Melodrama, which is a peach. And I have NARS Luster, although Luster is a little bit more golden than this one. And I have some other peach blushes as well, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. Then I have this one right here in Naughty Nude, and I have several nude blushes. That was kind of my thing for a while, and I think I really went to town buying them, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this one along. But if you want a good blush that's very similar to the NARS formula from the drugstore, I say go for these. And it's the original NARS formula in the black packaging. I don't know about their other ones, but this formula is very similar. And then this one right here is in Oh Baby Pink, and it's just a really pretty light pink, but again, I don't really need it. I was thinking about depotting these and putting them in a Z palette sort of deal, but I just know that I won't reach for that or use it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass them along. Here is a Maybelline Master Highlight Blush in Nude. I really like this one, but again, I have so many similar blushes, I'm passing it along. Here's a Neutrogena, which I think I've purged all of these at this point, but this one right here is in Rosy. I find that I loved these when I had pale skin. I find now that when my skin is darker that they look a little bit chalky on the skin. So if you're very pale, these look beautiful on the skin, but if you have a tan, they look chalky. And eventually I just want my makeup to work for my skin year round, so that's why I'm passing on this one. Two Boots number 7 blushes. They've since changed the packaging. I have this one in Natural Blush, which this is very similar to the Burberry blush in, it's like, what is, I don't know, it's the brown one, Earthy. It's very similar to Earthy. This leans a little bit more terracotta though, and Earthy just slightly more pink, but they're very similar. And then this one right here is in Soft Damson, and again, it's just like your everyday pink blush. I have tons of these. This is a CoverGirl blush in Soft Mink. I found this to be very similar to the one I already mentioned, the Pink Grapefruit, the Laura Geller, but it is a very good alternative for Benefit Rocketeur if you don't want to spend the money on it. It's a gorgeous blush. So if you're looking for something that just puts a beautiful shine on the cheeks and is very dimensional, goes with everything, this is a good one. Move on. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Hot Mama blush by The Balm. This is very similar to NARS Orgasm, but I find that this one has a little bit more of a base behind it. NARS Orgasm one's on the skin, like you just see the color. This one I find looks a little bit more chalky on my skin. I actually prefer this one though on pale skin, just because I find that the shimmer is finer than in NARS Orgasm. NARS Orgasm, actually there's glitter particles, but overall I'm just going to keep my little sample of NARS Orgasm and get rid of this one. Here's another Neutrogena blush. This is in the shade Luminous, and this just gives a gorgeous luminous flush to the cheeks. There you go. It's not really a blush, but it's not really a highlight either, but it just has gorgeous color. I don't know if you can even see any of that, like I'm sitting in a weird spot, but this is really pretty. It gives a gorgeous glow. It's a gorgeous blush topper, I think would be the best use for this. This is the Victoria's Secret, and I think I'm just going to toss this out. It's like their little, since they don't even make makeup anymore, it's like their little stick, and it's like supposed to be highlight or like a bronze stick. I usually used it as like a blush or like a cheek topper sort of deal. But this is in So Striking, and I'm just going to go ahead and pass this on just because it's like one of those cream to powder formulas, but after a time it still feels greasy on the skin, so I'm getting rid of this. I have this by Clinique, and it's like half blush, half eyeshadow. These blushes are gorgeous, but I don't like the way purple eyeshadows look on me. And I've tried to wear these, it just doesn't work. And I eventually plan on just buying the full size of the blushes. I know that sounds crazy, but this is, the shades and the blushes are Iced Lotus and Smoldering Plum, and I love them, but I don't know, I'm just going to go ahead and pass that on. It came in a bonus. This is a Philosophy Eye Quad from when they had makeup, and then they discontinued the makeup and everything went on clearance, and that's when I got this. In beautiful shades, but I have tons of shades like this, so I'm going to just go ahead and pass this along. I have two of these by The Balm. These are the Shady Lady individual eyeshadows, and these are the last two I had left. Again, I love the shades, but I just don't reach for them because it's like a process of like opening the sleeve and getting into them. But this one is in Shameless Shanna, and then this one is in Mischievous Marissa. I mean, they're gorgeous shades. Like, I feel like I wish I could make myself wear these because I think they're gorgeous everyday shades, but I just can't. So I'm going to go ahead and pass them on. This is from Rimmel. This is one of their new eyeshadows, and this is in the shade Millionaire. I saw the Pixie Woo sisters do a tutorial using this. One of them did a tutorial, and I'm like thinking to myself how gorgeous it is. I have to have that eyeshadow. I get the eyeshadow, and it is not that great, at least on me. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to somebody else. It's not great. Let's see here. I have this Sephora Chrome eyeshadow. Chrome eyeshadows, my eyes are too old for that. So I need to just go ahead and let this go. So My battery is dying and I'll be back, but I'm getting rid of this one and it is in Outrageous Metallic Bronze. Getting rid of two NYX individual shadows. I really like these, but again, they're discontinued and I never reach for these. The only individual shadows that I reach for usually are my Burberry ones. And there's like a few others. I have like one Lancome one that I reach for, but this is in the shade Sahara and it's just a really gorgeous like buttercream satin color. And then I have this one right here and this is in the shade Iced Mocha and it's a gorgeous brown shade. Again, my lighting keeps going in and out, so I apologize for that. And I have this Milani, and this is one of their Bella eyeshadows, and this is in Bella Espresso. I never used these. I bought a ton of them when they came out, and this is the last one that I had left, and it is now leaving me. This is a L'Oreal loose shadow that they had a couple years back. It's gorgeous, but again, it's kind of messy, but it's a beautiful bronze shade. Like, get some of that out. But it's so messy, I just don't use it. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. This kind of hurts my heart a little bit because I went through a ton of fiascos to get this one in my possession. I saw Lisa Eldridge do a Tippi Hedren look with this light blue shade and Burberry Pale Barley, and I loved it. So the only way I could get this was because Illamasqua was no longer sold here in the US. I had to order it from the UK, which in turn my bank account freaked out and closed everything down. It went into fraud alert because of this eyeshadow, and then I never actually wore it out. I've swatched it a few times and then I just know I'm not going to wear this. Like, why did I buy this? So I'm going to go ahead and send that off to somebody else. Then I have the Sonia Kashuk individual eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Night, and this is a super deep mix between a charcoal and like a brown, and it gives the most gorgeous subtle smoky eye, but again, I don't wear it enough to like justify keeping it. This is a CoverGirl quad, and this was in, what is this in? Oh, it's in Smoky Nudes. There's nothing nude about this. It's like purple and blue, although this made a gorgeous eye look when I wore it, but I wore it once and I've had it for like a year and a half, so again, I'm going to pass it on. And then this is the eyeshadow that everybody thinks you need to have, and it's super cheap. It's like 99 cents. It's just the Creme Brulee eyeshadow from Wet n Wild. I never reach for this. Mine's practically new, so I'm just going to pass it on. Alright, so moving on to lips. I have quite a few things because I recently went through a lip purge. So there are some items in here that I've pretty much only swatched and never used on my lips, and those will be going to somebody. And then the items that are like a gloss, I'm going to be tossing out if I've actually used them on my lips. Anything that can be sanitized obviously will be sent on. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go through this. First thing is the Revlon lipstick in Raspberry Bite. It's a beautiful shade. Okay, here we go. It's a gorgeous shade, but I just don't wear these bright shades. I've come to realize that, and I just won't be buying them any longer. It's just not my thing. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. This one right here is one of those new Estee Lauder lipsticks, and this was a little too brown for me. I just couldn't make it work. This is in the shade Dangerous. It's gorgeous. It's like that Kylie Brown, but Kylie Brown does not look good on me, so I need to go ahead and give this a new home. I have a couple of Clinique lipsticks. This first one right here is in Ruby Kiss, and I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. Again, it's kind of like a reddish sort of color. Oh, I need to turn that down. And then these ones are gorgeous. This is in Baby Kiss. It's got shimmer in it. Shimmer, again, it doesn't work well for me, so I'm going to pass that along to somebody who can use it. Again, I don't know if my camera is focusing, so I'm sorry. And then I have this one right here in Go Fig. And again, it has shimmer in it, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. I have this little mini Burberry lipstick, and this is like in their military red color. I'm not going to wear that, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to somebody who will. I keep saying, you know, you guys get it. This is a purge. I'm getting rid of these things. This is a YSL lipstick that I got in a Vox box. They sent two shades. They sent this one, which is the more bright shade, and then the other shade, which is, to to me, more wearable. So I'm going to keep the more wearable shade and then pass this bright fuchsia shade along. This is MAC Rebel. I love this for dabbing, but then I go to realize, like, when I wear these sorts of lipsticks, I would have this forever if I just dabbed. And I had all these bright shades that I just used to dab, and it doesn't make any sense. This is a Sonia Kashuk lipstick. It's a beautiful matte red. It was like one of their holiday ones about a year ago, I think. And it looks flat because my daughter did it into the lid, so I tried to like make it look as nice as possible. And it's the most beautiful red I owned. I don't think I own any reds now because this was the last one that I was holding on to, but again, I'm not going to wear red lips. Okay, so then going into some glosses. I got this in a box. I think it was like a FabFitFun. I'm not going to use this gloss, so I'm passing it on. It's by a brand called Doll 10. Again, are you focusing? Okay, I don't know if it's focusing or not, but it's by a brand called Doll 10, and I'm, again, not going to use this. I have two items by Buxom. This is in, what is this? Berry Blast. I bought two of these at once, never used either one of them. I already got rid of the Cherry Flip shade thinking that, okay, I might eventually use this one. Still haven't used it, so I am going to pass this along. And I'm also going to pass along their lip foundation. This seriously smells like Play-Doh, but that's the way they all smell, but that just bothers me, so again, getting rid of it. I need some lights in here. So I brought some lighting over, so hopefully you can see things a little bit better now. I just need to be able to situate my body. Okay, so then the next thing I have is this little Lancome gloss sample, and again, it's like a bright cherry color. I'm not going to use it. What shade is this, though, in case you're curious? 355. I have no idea, but this is their Lip Lover lip gloss. And then I have these from the drugstore. The scent, I'm trying to remember which one. They're the sorts of drugstore mattes, the Maybelline and the Revlon matte lips. Very similar colors. They are both scented. This one isn't so bad, but this one, oh my god, I can't. Oh, this is way too scented. I don't know if they messed up the batch on this one and half of this is just fragrance in here, but this is crazy scented, so I can't. Just can't. I like some scent, but oh my gosh. This is the Super Balm Moisturizing Gloss, and this is in Black Honey. I keep getting these in any kit that I get a Black Honey item in, and so I'm just going to go ahead and pass this on because I'm not going to use it. I have this drugstore gloss. This is the L'Oreal, and this is in Rose Melody. But again, I really like the applicators on these, but I just don't really find myself wearing these. This is a gloss that I got in a Sephora VIB, like when they had an event, and I never used it, and this is in Maverick. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. This is a Sonia Kashuk matte lip pencil. And this is in the shade Blossomy Nude, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. This is the Balm, and this is one of their lip glosses in Pink My Lemonade, and I'm passing this along as well, or maybe tossing that one out. I don't remember if I've used that one or not. And this is the Korres Wild Rose, and I just don't like dipping my finger into this. I think this would be best, I don't know, like somebody maybe who uses a lip brush more. So it's like practically new. I've used it like twice and then I'm like, okay, I'm not dipping my finger in this. I'm not doing it. So there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along. I have a couple more lip items. I have a blush item that I forgot about. So this is the Revlon lipstick, and this is in Black Cherry. Again, super dark lipstick. I'm not going to wear this, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. I have this in Black Honey. I actually have the full size of this, so I didn't see a need to hold on to this one, and it is just, it's like practically new. It's just their like their tinted lip balm. It's called their Almost lipstick, so it's a hybrid between a lip balm and a lipstick. So then I forgot this Bare Minerals blush. I'm not going to open it because it will go everywhere, but I just got it in like a sample thing. It's in the shade Beauty. I, again, don't really like loose products like this. Like, I'll do a loose setting powder, but I find loose colored products usually tend to be a little bit messier. So I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. I have this Josie Marin cream blush that I got in like one of her sets, and this is in the shade Spice. And so I'm going to get rid of that. Let's see here. I have two Clinique eye products I'm getting rid of because of just the shade of them. This is a chubby stick for eyes in like their purple shade. I rubbed off the thing because it used to be in a makeup bag, but I never used this. It just kind of rolled around in my drawer and stuff and never really got used. So I'm getting rid of that one. I think it was called like Lilac or something like that. And then I'm getting rid of this, which is their lid smoothie. And this is in the shade Current Affair, which again has a purple tint. For whatever reason, I just don't like the way purples look on me. So then I have some foundations I'm getting rid of. This is the Plain Jane Beauty Creme Mineral Foundation. When I did the review, I kind of told you guys how it kind of clung to certain parts of my skin and I didn't really care for it. So I'm going to pass it on and see if it can work for anybody else. And then I have these two foundations from Fit Me. They're the same shade, which isn't my shade right now, and eventually I might be that shade. It's the Matte and Poreless and then the original one. They're supposed to be the same shade, but as you can see, they don't look the same in here. But I'm getting rid of these just because they don't fit my face now, and when I'm ready for new foundation, maybe I'll try these out then. I did find that when I tried the Matte and Poreless one time, it kind of looked matte at first, but then it made my face go crazy and I produced so much more oil than I would have had I just used a normal foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and just pass on those. This will probably throw out just the Clinique CC cream. I've had it for so long and it's such a light shade that it was just too light. And I also find that the Clinique foundations don't really work for me because they all lean pink. So this is in the shade Very Light and it was just too light for me. This is the Maybelline Master Conceal. And I found that this bad boy just didn't look right on my skin. So again, that's something I'm passing on. And then I have this L'Oreal True Match. And this is in Neutral 123. The shade just didn't seem quite right for me. So maybe I'll try another one of these later, but just the shade didn't seem right. The formula, though, was nice. I'm rid of some makeup brushes that I have down here. Nothing really notable. I have some of the Jessup ones that I got in that kit that I just didn't care for. And again, I'm trying to cut down on everything. So I'm going to get rid of these Jessup brushes here. I didn't really find a use for them. And they just didn't really work out for me. So I'm going to get rid of these. This Coastal Scents fan brush is a little bit too big and too ridiculous for me to use for what I want it for, which would be highlighter. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on this as well. I think that this would be best used for maybe some loose powder if you're an actual makeup artist setting somebody's face, but this was just a bit much for me. This is, I think at one point this was a Bare Minerals sort of buffing brush, but I think the stuff is rubbed off of it. But I don't know, some company made this. It's really soft, it's nice, but it sheds on me, so I don't like it and I'm getting rid of it. Are these more? Yeah, these are more of the Jessup brushes. Really, a lot of these are just the brushes that I got in kits that I just will not use, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of those. These came in like a kit together from Mary Kay. I think it was Mary Kay. Yeah, Mary Kay, which these were my first makeup brushes ever. I've had these since college, like my freshman year of college, mind you, like when I was 18. So I've had these for 13 years, and they shed. They're not that great, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of those. This again came in a thing. It's like a powder brush. Every time I wash this, it bleeds red, so I'm going to get rid of it. This sheds as well, so I'm going to get rid of it. It's something about it, TJ Maxx, just one of their brushes for foundation. This says it's a contour brush, but it's kind of too thick. I don't know. I'm just getting rid of that. This is an e.l.f. flat top kabuki. I had two of these, so I'm just going to get rid of one. I don't need two because I don't use them that often. This is an angled liner brush. I'm getting rid of that because it's a big one. It's not super big, but I like a smaller one, like a micro one. And then this is a flat shader eyeshadow brush, and I just know I'm not going to use that. So I have a friend through Army, who has a teenage daughter, which will probably get the brushes that I don't throw away. Last thing I'm getting rid of are pencils, like eye pencils and things like that, and lip pencils, you know, whatever. I just found that there are tons that I do not use, and there's usually specific things that I go for, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass on these. I actually got this one in a box not too long ago. This is the Laura Geller lip liner, and I thought I would use this. It's in the shade Fawn, but when I went to put it all over my lips, it really darkened it to about the color brown that Estee Lauder lipstick was in, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass this along because it's just a little bit too brown for me. I have another lip liner in here somewhere, but I don't see it anymore. Oh, this one right here. Prestige. This one leaned a little bit dark and orange on me, so I'm going to go ahead and pass on this, and this is the Prestige lip liner in Cameo. It's a pretty color, but again, I use like 2 different colors of lip liner that I own, and that's it. So getting rid of those, I have these eyeliners from the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips eyeliners. I really like this formula, but these are starting to dry out, and these are the shades that I didn't love enough like to use in time. I loved some of the other ones. I wish that they sold the different shades individually though, because really there's like 1 out of each pack that I love, and then you're stuck with other eyeliners that you may not use. So I'm getting rid of those. I recently purchased this one. This is the Kajal by Pop Beauty. And it didn't do what I wanted it to, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. I got this from Billion Dollar Brows. It's part concealer on one end, part highlighter on the other. I just won't use this to sharpen my brows or do any of that, but if other people really go to like sharpen their brows and do things, this would be great for them. This is the NARS Rue Bonaparte. I don't use anything light in the waterline like I used to, and so this is like practically new. I was just too lazy to get around to using it, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that on. This was sent by the same company that sent me the thing in the beginning, and this is their Eye Lift Longwear Liner. It's the Studio 10, and then the other side I think is supposed to do something, but anyway, this is supposed to like help sharpen your brows, but it's also liner and stuff. I just didn't like the formula. I didn't think it did a very good job, so I'm going to pass it on. This is the Sonia Kashuk blue eyeliner. I don't really use it. I have this one in Smoke by Urban Decay. I don't usually use gray eyeliner on my eyes, so I'm getting rid of that. I have this Clinique one in purple. Again, I don't like purples on my eyes, so I'm getting rid of that. This is a Revlon. I went on a quest a long time ago for a good bronze eyeliner, and this was one that I bought, but it ended up not working, so I don't even use it. I think that is everything that I have to get rid of. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!